Hi guys, this is Tea Thoughts with Mishi, and after a long hiatus, I am back and ready to I am back and ready to mingle, and I am starting with the summary of the year. I know some of you are wondering, is this a summary of 2025 because it's so late? But no, it is actually a summary of 2024. I know I'm a little bit late, but I was on sabbatical, right? So now I'm back better than ever. Eyebrows not done, but I'm trying to grow them out, so I'm doing a thing. For those on the pod, I'm having a video accompany this episode because I was like, well, I've been gone for so long, you guys may have missed my face that you don't usually see, so you may wonder like what's happening. I've also become really conservative, so I went and I put on a shirt because I don't know, I feel like there's something a little like off-putting about showing shoulders in a professional setting. I know this isn't technically a professional setting, but I'm like, if somebody watched this 30 years from now, do I want them seeing my shoulders? I've also been slacking on the gym, so probably that's why I'm not wanting to show off my toned arms. So just summarizing 2024. Today is March 2nd, 2025. This is really late. I usually do the yearly summary much sooner in the new year, not in the third month of the year, but whatever, we got here and that's all that matters. So starting the yearly summary or the end of year summary, what was my mindset for 2024? Right now it seems like I've been in 2025 for so long, like it's like, what was I even thinking at the beginning of 2024? And my mindset was to embrace the cost of convenience. Now, I don't like paying for stuff, like paying for Uber, paying for shipping. That's why I don't shop online, because I just feel like, no, I'm not paying for that, right? And I was like, yo, sometimes the time that it takes me to figure out how to do something or to figure out how to wiggle out of paying convenience fees, I could have just paid the fees. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not at the age where I'm making minimum wage. If I need to take an Uber somewhere, I can probably take an Uber somewhere. I don't need to calculate like the mileage or the cost per kilometer. I can probably just get onto the Uber, but I don't like doing that. But I did tell myself, hey, embrace the cost of convenience because your time is important and you don't need to waste your time on stuff like that. 2024, this seems so long ago. I should have done this sooner, but it was to do my schoolwork well before the deadline. So I did manage to maybe not do it before the deadline, but I did manage to give it in on time, except for that experience. I don't think I podded about this, but I had an assignment due and I was coming from England and I was like, okay, I'm going to do the bare bones, right? Is that what they call it? Like put the bones on the assignment, and I'm going to work on it on the plane so that by the time I get off the plane, I can submit it, right? I was trying to be a nomad, a digital nomad, start the assignment in England, work on it in Amsterdam, submit it when I get to Canada. Man, that did not work. I was at the airport trying to open the file so I could get it ready, right? Like open it offline for me to get it ready to work on the assignment on the plane. That this thing would not open, and it was supposed to be due when I got back in. And I was like, what do I do? And the teacher had already said, yo, we're not giving any type of extensions or anything. But I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna email her and show her the error that I'm getting. So I took a screenshot of the error and I sent it to her and I was like, hey, this isn't working, like I don't know what to do, right? And then luckily enough, she didn't see the message, but I was just like, okay, fine, I guess maybe I can start doing it again. So I just restarted it, and then afterwards, thank goodness, she was like really good about it. She's like, oh, that's fine. It's so hard having tech issues. I think people are pretty good, especially if you let them know ahead of time. So I was able to submit my assignment on time. And to be fair, the course finished and I did really well. And yeah, and then now I forgot about it because it's been so long ago. I think I finished in August. And the third thing was to utilize my time well in work and rest periods. So that was kind of like, sometimes I feel like, I think we all do this, that you spend more time avoiding doing your work than actually doing your work. When in actual fact, if you just did your work, you would be done, right? So for me, a part of that was like, hey, when I'm at work or whatever, if I have some downtime, use that use that time to learn about stuff to do with work. Like everything is an experience, right? So if you do have some downtime, use that time well. Or in on the other side as well, I realize that if I'm getting ready for court or for a tribunal, I really really need to set the time aside properly. Before, what I used to do would be like, okay, I have a hearing on Wednesday. I'll be like, okay, I'll work on it this weekend. When in actual fact, this weekend I should be going over everything, and that always makes me like nervous and anxious. So I now realized I have to work on it 2 weekends before so that I get myself prepared. Then the following weekend I'm just kind of going through stuff, and then the weekend right before, when I'm supposed to, it's like when I'm doing the final stuff, right? Instead of waiting until the last possible minute. So I have kind of been embracing that. Obviously not fully. I'm not perfect, right? I'm not God. But that was my 2024 mindset. My notes of gratitude for 2024 was, number one, my friends. Oh, love you guys. I was really, really grateful for my friends, because I was like, you know what? I was like reading a lot of stuff about friendships and this and that. And people were saying like they kind of don't have friends. Oh, I'm looking at a picture of my friends. I would put it on here, but I don't know if they'll be okay with people knowing that we're friends. I don't know why they would not be okay with people knowing that they're friends, but whatever. I think people know that we're friends. But anyways, I have a picture of my friends right there on top of my desk. So pretty much I'm grateful for my friends. The second thing I was grateful for was for my travels. I traveled a lot last year, like a lot. I was almost sick of planes. Just joking. Love planes, love airports. I traveled a lot. Last year I made up, I would say, for the pandemic. Oh, this is my journal, guys. I don't know if you care. This is the journal for last year. I actually have a little one this year because of my travels. So I actually switched, and now I have a smaller one, because it's kind of, this doesn't seem like a lot of weight, but when you're like calculating the pounds on a trip and how much you're carrying on your backpack, it makes a difference. So I got a smaller one this year, which I'm not sure if I like it or not. Another note of gratitude was I got back pay, which was kind of like a bonus from my work. I really, really appreciated that. I don't think I've ever really gotten a bonus from work. I used to work at a company that used to give us profit sharing, so that was kind of a bonus, but honestly, that was, I want to say, maybe over 10 years ago. So the jobs that I do, there's no bonus. Like, you just get paid what you get paid, like, and that's pretty much it, right? Like, there's no bonus. So it wasn't even a bonus. It was back pay. But to me, it felt like a bonus. I think because of the jobs that I do, that's probably as close to bonus as I'll get. So I was very grateful for that. I saved it just in case anybody wants to know. I don't think I did anything crazy. Oh, I think I went on a trip and then I saved the rest of it. Also, another note of gratitude was my father's sister. My father has many sisters, so I'm just going to leave you guys to know which one of my father's sisters I'm grateful for. I mean, I'm grateful for all of them, but this year I was grateful for a specific one. So you guys just have to figure that out. Okay, so back to the official summary of the year. So these are the things that normally I do. The people that are familiar with the pod know these categories, right? But to be fair, I didn't journal a lot this year. Like, I don't know. Well, I do know what was going on. Anyways. Okay, my face is so expressive. Okay, so summary of the year, the official categories. What were my accomplishments for 2024? My first accomplishment was, this ties into what I was just talking about getting ready. So my first accomplishment was I was very prepared for my hearing with somebody that I went to school with. Now, I lost that hearing. But I was prepared. I was very prepared, and that's all that matters. And I felt like I couldn't do any better, because usually a part of like doubt is knowing that you're not prepared. But if you're prepared, you're like, I did what I could, and that's all that I could do. The second accomplishment was I did a 10K run, guys. And I want to say, I think I ran like 7 out of those 10Ks. I was really, really proud of that. I've actually, this is hot off the press. I've actually signed for the 10K again this year, but I don't know if I'm going to walk or if I'm going to run, but I'm actually going to start my training this month. Last year, I kind of didn't really train. I was kind of slacking with everything, as you will find out. So I didn't really get a chance to train. Another accomplishment was I finished my research administration certificate, and I was really happy about that. My computer has gone down, so I'm wondering if it's going to change the color, but that's fine. My sweetest memories was being back in Warsaw. If you guys know, I grew up in Warsaw, so like being in Warsaw, it just felt like, oh my god, this is so nostalgic, and it was just cool. Like it was just nice. I mean, I was busy and I had work, so I didn't get to like just kind of drop in on like my friends as much as I would, because obviously they've got kids, they're busy, they're doing their thing. But just the mental knowledge of knowing that, oh, they're right there is just so nice. And one of my cousins also moved closer to Warsaw, because she used to live, I'm not going to give her business, but she used to live further, and now she lives closer. So it was just nice having that mental thought of, oh, I can just go visit. Because if you guys know, in Canada, like everything is far, right? So for you to go visit somebody, you have to like plan it. And to be fair, I don't have a lot of family in Canada, so it's not like, I'm just like, going to visit anybody. Like I don't have a lot of family here, so you have to plan it. And I don't have a lot of people here. Yet when I'm in England, I could like look through Facebook and be like, oh, this person's related to me, let me go and visit them. And I kind of like that feeling. Another sweet memory is I got a gift from my father, and that has a double entendre. And yeah, that was nice. The next category is new friendships. The first new friendship that I made is actually not a friendship, but I guess it is a friendship. It's my partner. So that was nice. At work, there's two people. I'm not going to say their names, but there's two people that I hang out with. Usually, like, they're just nice. Like, one of them bakes me cookies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she makes me laugh. There's another lady as well. Like, we hang out. Like, we walk to the car together, and they're nice. Like, those are my two new friendships. And another new friendship that I have, it's not really a new friendship, but it's an old friendship that I didn't really think of as a friendship, because it's my best friend's older sister. And when we were younger, I just kind of looked at her as like, ugh, the older sister. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of like, you don't really think that, oh, that's also my friend. But then I started thinking about all the times we used to hang out and everything. Like, yeah, she's my friend's older sister, but she's also my friend. Do you know what I mean? And so seeing her, I was like, oh yeah, this is my friend. So yes, my good deeds. Oof. Now I'm like one of those people bragging about myself, patting myself on the back. Oof, yuck. Of course. Okay, my good deeds of the year is becoming more free-handed. So being like giving more, like that's my good deed of the year. Like I think, yeah. I probably should have more in that category, but that's what I have. Things that I have learned. I have learned that Canada is top 10 in the world economies, and that like Shona is the top 10 spoken language in Africa. Who knew, right? Like I don't think any Zimbabweans think like, oh, Shona is the top 10th language. But I guess it kind of makes sense, because a lot of places in Africa speak French. They speak Swahili, so that groups them into one language. And then I guess the other places are Arabic, but that also groups them into one language. So I would say probably, I don't know if English counts, but so I would say the top 5 would maybe be English, would be Arabic, French, English, Arabic, French. There's not a lot of Spanish speaking places in Africa. So then you'd have probably, I would put the 2 languages from Nigeria, Swahili, and yeah, that puts Zimbabwe in a really good spot. And I was like, oh my god, look at Canada and look at Zimbabwe, top 10 in the world economy. And I mean, living in Canada, I would not assume that we're like a top 10 economy, but who am I to argue with the numbers, right? Something else that I learned, that Mexico has over 100 million people, and 20 to 23 of those people are in Mexico City. 20 to 23 million of those people are in Mexico City, the biggest city in North America. So guys, oof. So live in Canada, massive place, no people. Born in Zimbabwe, not a massive place, but I would say a big place, almost no people. Population in Canada is about 40 million. population in Zimbabwe is about, I would put it at 16 million, but I'm not sure, give or take, right? Lived in England, but when I lived in England, I didn't live in London. I lived in Warsaw, so that's not a lot of people. I would say maybe Warsaw has 200,000 people. I'm just guessing, right? So generally, I'm not a person that's been around a lot of people, right? Like, I don't think so. All the places I've lived have been, it's not a lot of people, right? Went to Mexico City to visit. Was meeting like one of my aunties, and oh my god, I walked around on a Sunday because I was just like, I like to do that. Like, I want to do the museums, I want to do the cathedrals. I was just doing my thing, right? And oh my god, there were so many people, like so many people. I was like, how can there be so many people? I swear to you guys, I know you think I'm being dramatic, but I've never seen that many people in my life. I was like, this is a lot of people. I was almost a little bit overwhelmed. I was like, this is a lot of people. And a little part of the overwhelm was like, there wasn't really a lot of black people. I saw, this is Mexico City. When I went to Cancun, I feel like I saw a few more black people because obviously it's a tourist destination. But Mexico City, I didn't see a lot of black people. Oh, we actually had that incident happen, that thing happen where people come to talk to you and be like, oh, can we please take a picture with you? And I'm pretty sure the reason the girl and her, well, the dad asked for the girl, but I'm pretty sure the reason that she asked was because we're black. Like, I'm just gonna say it. So we're just like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. Because it was like a young girl, right? And so we took a picture with her. Yeah, it was a lot of people, guys. Like, I was like, whoa, this must be what it's like to be in like India or China. And I was like, sheesh, I don't think I would like it, because it was like a lot. It was like being on a subway, but we were not on the subway. But I actually really liked Mexico City. It was nice. And we went to another place called, I can't remember what the place was called, but it was nice. Okay, what are my discoveries of the year? It was, oh, I think I've spoken about it, but if I haven't, I'm speaking about it again. It was Northern Ireland, a place called Giant's Causeway, and that place, guys, was so beautiful. It was just like, wow. I absolutely adored it. It was just so beautiful. I forgot how much I loved mountains, and that place reminded me that, oh my god, mountains are cool. Another discovery was Coventry Cathedral. I really liked it. Lichfield Cathedral. I really liked it. And I also discovered this weird cheese from Mexico. It kind of like feels like paper, but it's not, but it was delicious. I'm obsessed with tacos, guys. I was obsessed with tacos before Mexico because my friend, a different friend, is obsessed with tacos, and I was kind of like, I don't get it, right? So that I don't like it, but it was just like, whatever. But now I've become obsessed with tacos. Okay, what other discoveries did I have last year? Did I discover an artist last year? Maybe I did discover an artist, but what artist? Oh, yes, I know what artist I discovered. I discovered an artist called Saint Flo from Zimbabwe. He has this song, and he's always like, doo, doo, doo. He has this song that I really love called Superstar. I don't think I'm allowed to insert music, but maybe I am. I don't know. If I am, maybe I'll insert the music. Who are we kidding? I'm not going to insert the music. Okay. Important events of 2024. I stayed in Warsaw. I was in Warsaw. I was in England a lot last year, and that was an important event. I don't know if I actually want to share this one, so I'm just going to actually skip it. Next year's resolutions. Well, we're already in next year, but my resolutions for this year were to focus on my company and to focus on the pod and to also focus on tigera.ca/tigera.ca. Go and visit it. I think that has high potential for it to be a return on investment for me, but I just haven't been serious. A little part of it, I say yes, I haven't been serious, but a little part of me is that I've been busy with other things, so I haven't given it the attention that it needs. But now that I finished my course, I kind of want to chill a little bit, so I think I'm going to focus a little bit more, and I've been writing. So I've been writing and I've kind of been posting. Ooh, I had a post that actually did really well the other day. So I have been writing. I'm thinking about just focusing more on the writing than the podding, which is why I've been writing but haven't been podding. So that was my resolution. I guess I should put this on here because I didn't put it on. But one of my resolutions is to get back into working out. Last year I had like I don't know, I had a busy year and I just kind of put it on the side because I was focusing on other things, but this year I'm getting back to it. I actually just finished 30 days of yoga, so that resolution is going well. My reflections for the previous year, I need to keep remembering to move the mouse so that it doesn't, I'm recording on my computer. My reflections on the previous year was, 2024, I guess I thought it was, yeah. My reflection, I can't talk, was that I was fiscally aware, not responsible, that would be jumping. But I flew like a bird and I have no regrets. I went everywhere that I wanted to go. But in my heart, if I think about it deep down, I think that I can save more and I think I should do that. Okay, what is my faith, dream / my hope? Okay, my hopes are to be more generous, to fully embody the abundance mindset. That way, when I give, I don't have to worry that, oh my God, do I have enough? You know, it's just, I think it's reflex, right? You give to somebody and you think, oh my God, do I have enough? Like, but in actual fact, you do have enough, you'll be fine, and just give, right? So that was the summary of the year. We're at 20 minutes. I think I'm going to make this a long one because surprise, surprise, I didn't have a book of the year. I think I only read one book last year, which I know is shocking, but I read things, but I only read one book and I can't for some reason remember what the book was. So I don't have a book of the year. Moving on to quotes of the year, which is usually my favorite. Okay. There are a few, so hopefully we'll get to like 30 minutes. It says, oh, I like this. It says, what people tell you in English is irrelevant. All that matters is what they say in their own language to their own people. That was from Thomas L. Friedman on the Ezra Klein podcast. And I 100% agree with that. Because I think sometimes when we're talking about politics, there's things that people say in public, but there's things that they say in private when nobody's listening. Like the conversations that I have about Black issues with my sister are not the conversations that I have when other people are listening, right? Like, I guess people say in polite company, right? There's certain things that you don't really say because you're like, no, we can't discuss that here. And I think that's true because sometimes when people are dealing with specific sensitive issues, political issues, they're like, well, but the people said this. And I'm like, yeah, people say a lot of shit in public. But what you really need to know is their actions and what they say to each other in private. The next one was, beer never broke my heart. That was from the Gabfest podcast. Yeah, that's so true. Beer has never broken anybody's heart. So the next one is, at the end of the day, I think we should date someone decent and will not pull us down. Love is temporary and the reality is you've got to pay bills. That was Zhang Li Ni on Quora, talking about how you can't just consider, in a relationship, you can't just consider love. People like to say that money means nothing, but I think money means something. I think people are correct to say money is not everything, but it's not nothing. That's what I would say. And that's what that person was saying, because I think it was a thread that was talking about dating and money. Another quote of the year was, generosity is contagious. That was on the Rule Breaker Investing podcast. And I think that ties into what I said, that I want my hope or my goal for the next year to just be like more generous, and not just more generous, but do so freely, you know, like just do it, right? But not to a crazy amount and not outside of budget. Okay, the next one is, rent payment is the maximum, mortgage is the minimum you will pay. I saw that on YouTube / TikTok on buying a house. I think that's something that people need to consider. Because people always put you under pressure. You gotta buy a house, you gotta buy a house, you gotta buy a house. But it's like, well, do I gotta buy a house? It's one of those things that I think, like, it's like the same conversation that people have about a car. People are like, well, if you buy a newer car, you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, that's true, but you do have to worry about the payment, right? Like every month you worry about that. I only worry that my car's broken maybe once every year, right? Like, the next one was, praise in public, discipline in private. It was on the show Those About to Die on Amazon Prime, that you don't like don't discipline people publicly. Like, do it in private. You don't need everybody to see somebody being disciplined. This makes me think about an episode that's coming up that I'm gonna discuss the way that Trump was talking to Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, in public. It's just, I don't know. Don't do that to people. Like, if you need to tell somebody off, do it in private. The last one is kind of cute. This was from my time in Jamaica. It was a Jamaican Rastaman, and this was at Bob Marley's birthplace, or resting place. Oh, it's birth and resting place. Just remembered that. And it was prayers go up, blessings come down. And man, I feel like blessings have been coming down. And that is the last quote of the year. And so that will wrap up my summary of the year. I'm hoping to be more consistent, as I always am. But again, I'm more consistent on the stuff that pays me. And as we know, this does not pay me. So my consistency level is like, but I'm hoping to maybe do a lot more video podcasts, because apparently that's where the market is going. But honestly, I don't care about where the market is going. I'm not really interested in sitting in front of a camera. But what I am thinking about doing is maybe creating content where all the old vlogs that I've recorded but never posted anywhere, I'm thinking of consolidating those, putting my podcast audio in the background and just showing it to you guys, so you guys can see me on my many travels, but be listening to my sweet voice. Yeah, guys, so that's it for Tea Thoughts today. I gave you my summary of the year. I gave you my quotes of the year. What else did you guys want? I even gave you a video. I am back. I'm gonna be releasing on the 31st or the 1st of the month. It just depends. I know today is the 2nd, but you know, you do what you gotta do. And that is all, guys. See you next time. Bye. Done. Oh, didn't realize that I was still recording.